Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing everything that you need to know about the food truck business in 2023. Thank you for those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. For those who are new on here, make sure that you binge watch everything and do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will be leaving my link tree in the meantime until my website is up and running. That way, if you need to connect with me, you know exactly how. So I did mention we're going to be discussing what you need to know about food trucks in 2023. Keep in mind, I am a food truck builder in Tampa, Florida. So of course, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I used to be a coach. Now I'm no longer offering mentoring and coaching services, but I do want you all to be as informed as possible. And a lot of builders won't discuss this with you because they just want your money, and that's pretty much it. That's not what I'm about here. I'm going to keep it to the long haul. I want you all to just be informed, educated, and know what you're getting into when it comes to this industry. So let's get started on the 6 main topics of what you need to know before getting into a food truck in 2023. So the first thing that is somewhat negative is that the food truck industry is expensive. So don't think that you're going to get into this business starting with 5K, 10K, 20K. It goes up. So it really just depends on what you're trying to achieve. Now, keep in mind, the food truck industry has many variables in it, right? So you have people who are literally serving food, have a fire suppression system, they have the whole 9 yards, they have the hood vent, they have the exhaust fan, they have all the kitchen equipment, and it's a food truck. Food trailers are essentially a lot cheaper. However, at the same time, it does get very costly depending on how you equip the trailer. If you're going to do a barbecue trailer and you're going to add a porch, that can get very costly. Now, if you have something like a smoothie truck or a coffee truck or a tea truck, something that doesn't necessarily require you to have a hood because you're not necessarily cooking, or even something with baked goods that you're reselling that's already packaged, or even an ice cream truck, those things can vary between 20, 30 grand to say the very least. But when you're getting into a full kitchen, it can be very expensive. And a lot of people don't realize this. So if you're going to get into this industry, make sure there are 2 things that you have on point: your income and your credit, if you plan to finance. Now, if you plan to save money and pay everything cash, then you're off the hook. But if you do plan on financing, you have to make sure that your credit is on point and that you have sufficient income so when you go to take a loan out, you're able to pay that loan back. And that's exactly what lenders look for when it comes to getting a loan for a food truck. The second topic that a lot of people don't like to discuss is that the food truck business is a risky business. In fact, the restaurant industry is notorious for being one of the most high risk business in the nation. So this is why a lot of lenders do not like lending money when it comes to the restaurant industry, and why there's very little resources when it comes to building or starting a restaurant or food truck business. As you may know, I'm pretty sure if you've ever inquired on getting a food truck and tried to find resources for getting financing or business startups, it's extremely hard because, again, it is a high risk business. So, those are the 2 main topics when it comes to the downfall of starting a food truck business. But I definitely wanted to get that out the way. That way, you know what you're getting into when it comes to starting your food truck business. Now, keep in mind, there are a lot of other factors, but those are the 2 main topics that a lot of people love to discuss because there's not enough resources and a lot of people get into something and it just doesn't work out for them. And this business is not for everybody. But again, I am trying to shoot this video as a transparency for you all so that you know what you're getting into when it comes to the food truck industry. All right, so let's talk about the good stuff. The first advantage when it comes to starting a food truck business is that it's a stepping stone to your business expansion. I cannot tell you how many people have started a food truck business and have expanded to several locations, into a brick and mortar, have several brick and mortars. I mean, it's an amazing thing. And this is something that if you plan to have a restaurant in the future, this is exactly where you need to start. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to starting a food truck business, you already became a chef, I'm assuming, because you can't just get into a food truck business and you haven't been cooking for a long time. So the steps are becoming a chef and getting your catering license. If you want to get into the food truck industry, that would be the next step, which is the most affordable and easy to get into. Then from there, you can go into a restaurant. And then after that, you're just expanding and blowing up. I mean, it's a no brainer, but in order for you to expand, you have to start somewhere. And sometimes a lot of people don't just like to cater. Sometimes they want to market and go to events and they just need something to be up and ready. And the food truck is the way to go. Another cool factor is that food trucks have low overhead costs. Now, granted, I've heard about food trucks being over 100K. I don't know where that's at. That's definitely not me. However, restaurants are like 100K up just to get started. So, pulling permits, getting licenses, getting it built out, all that costs a ton of money. It's probably even more than a quarter million from what I've heard, depending on the size. Then you have to employ people, you have to get insurance. Now, granted, all these things factor in the food truck industry, but on a very smaller scale. There's only so many people you can fit into a food truck. So just remember that even though you have certain costs, it's not as expensive as a restaurant. Unlike brick and mortars, food trucks are very flexible. And what I mean by that is when you want to be a part of a wedding, if you want to be a part of a fair, if you want to be a part of a festival, a food truck rally, any kind of party that you want to be a part of, you can literally pick up your business and go. This is not something you can do with a brick and mortar. You're literally stuck there in an infrastructure, but you can do that with a food truck business. So you're literally allowing yourself to create a possibility of brand awareness because you're driving on the road, people are seeing you. If you wanted to go to another state, you can also do that as well with a temporary license. As long as everything is legal and good to go, you're literally branding your business and allowing yourself to be seen from other people. And my final topic that you need to know about food trucks is that this business is so easy to market. You don't even need paid ads. But I'm not going to encourage you not to put paid ads. I'm just saying you're literally a driving billboard for your business. You're creating a brand awareness because everywhere you go, people are going to see you. In fact, I always turn around and I'm like, oh, here's a food truck here. Let me call them, see what they're about, what they do. I love to connect with new people, and I'm sure other food truck business owners would love to connect with you as well. It's its own little community. So that's pretty cool to know when you're in a specific niche. This is a form of word of mouth. And about 83% of business owners market their business through word of mouth because it is one of the most effective ways to brand and build your business up. You're literally driving on the street and someone may stop you. You got to be prepared for that and tell them what you do and what you're about. Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube video. If you want to learn more about the food truck industry and you need to connect, make sure you take advantage of the link that I'm providing below of the video. That way we're able to connect and discuss your future goals. And I also have the ebook on there. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And you can connect with me on all social media platforms under Dreams Gone Mobile. Until next time, everyone, see you all next week.